My name is Destiny Barker, and today I'd like to speak to you about transformational leadership. What is leadership? Dictionary.com defines leadership as 1, a person who guides or directs a group, 2, an ability to lead, 3, an influence over a group, or 4, the leader of a group. Here we have a transformational leadership model. Transformational leadership applies to most college seniors about to enter the workforce because of so many different reasons. One, it encompasses a variety of different forms of leadership, as well as allows the person to be more flexible to reach different age groups and markets, as well as different fields. Here in the transformational leadership model, we can see it as a process. In transformational leadership, the leader will identify the need for change, which is translating strategy into action, and leveraging your emotional intelligence to the followers. 2, create the vision to guide through inspiration. We'll talk more about this later in charismatic leadership and servant leadership. But you can do that through leading through change and developing employee capability, meaning giving your followers the confidence to do their job on their own. And 3, execute the change through the commitment of the group members. Transformational leadership was founded by James Burns in the late 1970s, and then further developed by Robert Keegan in the early 1980s as a developmental stage process. In this pie chart, you can see here how generations in the workforce will work together. Who will I work with? The chart above is evidence that many different generations will work alongside one another. For example, you're going to have the traditionalists before 1945, which still make up 5% of the workforce. Even the baby boomers make up 45% of the workforce. We know as college seniors about to graduate, we hear it all the time that the baby boomers are about to go into retirement. So there's going to be a new change in even a generation working underneath us that we'll have to learn to communicate with as well. Here are examples of transformational leadership throughout different forms. We have teaching, and then I like to use also the animal life. The mother bear with her cubs, and then Cesar Milano with his dogs. All of these are examples of people or leaders leading through guiding and being an inspiration to those who follow so that they know how to act with confidence. Charismatic leadership is a form of leadership all on its own, but it is a part of the transformational leadership process. We can see in the charismatic leadership model that, and I'm not sure if you can see this very well, but there's different characteristics like optimism, confidence, purpose, morality that encompass the personality traits of the charismatic leader. To condense it and make it simpler, you have the followers who seek the charismatic leader who follow into the vision. Charismatic leadership can only be successful if the group, the followers, see themselves as unique individuals different from another group, and they can identify with the leader as someone who can take them further in any goal, any way you want to translate that. I applied it to Oprah, Steve Jobs, President Obama. We can see this in America with political parties. You can see Democrats identify themselves differently than Republicans. Obviously, Oprah's worldwide audience identifies with her in some way, and so that's why they continue to support her. The Apple conglomerate has followers dating back from, the 80s. So these are brands or organizations that people want to be a part of. The only downside to charismatic leadership is that it cannot be solely relied upon, because if a follower does not identify with the message or the ideals that the leader is trying to send, then they won't work together. Lastly, we have servant leadership. Servant leadership is basically what it explains itself to be. It's the leader acting as a servant to the followers. Here we have the servant leadership model and the process. Again, it's a process. And this is starting from the bottom, working its way up. You see will, which is seeing a need for change, love, dedication for the goal and the followers, service and sacrifice, usually when followers see the sacrifice made for the greater good. Authority, followers with admiration trust the leader. And leadership, full leadership is granted and accepted. So we can see from the servant leader model that starting from the leader's own will and somewhere being accepted by the followers, there is the service and sacrifice. And in servant leadership, service and sacrifice have to be a part of the process. Otherwise, the followers don't usually see the leader as the servant. A great sacrifice made causes the admiration from the followers. Most people can identify this with religion. We can see that through Gandhi here. But also we can see it too, just love for our country, love for our fellow man, or our fellow citizen, pride in ourselves. We can see that from the flag when they raised the flag at the World Trade Center. In conclusion, charismatic leadership and servant leadership have to be a part of transformational leadership. It cannot be solely relied upon. While a transformational leader must have charisma to gain the trust of the followers, there must also be a servant to the followers and act as an inspiration, act as a guide. By becoming a servant to the followers, they gain respect. And so, therefore, the overall goal or the overall mission can be accomplished. This doesn't have to apply to just college seniors. It can apply to all of us in our everyday lives. Thank you.